Most people think that you need a six-figure salary or $1 million net worth in order to live a luxurious life. But what if I told you that the people who actually feel the most rich often earn way less money than you expect? And if you want to feel more rich and you want a luxurious life, you might be closer than you think. In this video, I will show you 5 unexpected money habits that let you live well on almost any income. Even if you're paying off debt still, you live in an expensive city, or you feel like it's just hard to make lifestyle upgrades right now. Hello and welcome everyone. If you're new here, my name is Lissa. I'm a certified financial planner and I talk all things building wealth and also all things related to building an abundant mindset. So if that's your vibe, go ahead and subscribe. Let's get into these 5 unexpected habits that can make your life feel more rich. And if you stick to the end, I'm gonna share with you my personal secret of how I literally switched from a scarcity mindset to feeling like I'm living in luxury now. Habit number 1. Focus on upgrading your everyday luxuries. There is this myth that a lot of people believe, which is that luxury is something I'll have someday, far away in the future, because I just can't afford it right now. The truth is that luxury can be your small, daily, intentional upgrades to the things you already do, the things you already love and enjoy. It could be what you already have. Another way you can look at it is what things in your life right now that you have did you once consider luxury, but now that you have them, you don't consider it a luxurious life. Most people can name at least one thing that used to seem so luxurious when it was out of reach, but now you probably enjoy it on a regular basis. I have an espresso machine downstairs. It uses the little pods, and I think after this, the next step is getting a full-on espresso machine. But I used to drink instant coffee to be cheap back in college and even afterwards. And then I eventually graduated to a Keurig machine. And there were many instances in my life where I stopped drinking coffee altogether to save money. And now it's kind of crazy because I drink cappuccinos multiple times a week. So that is a luxury to me. It's not a yacht. It's not flying first class, but it is my morning coffee ritual that is elevated. Now here's why this matters. Because of what we see on the internet or on TV, we tend to associate luxury with these big purchases or something that has a very specific aesthetic. And a lot of those curated designs and things we see on television are completely opposite from what we have now. So it leaves us wanting more and wanting something different when we might already have everyday luxuries in our lives. So I define it as what are small daily upgrades that you have in your life or that you can add to your life that make you feel good and that don't have to throw your budget all out of whack. There are so many ways to find luxury, no matter what income level you're at. Just think about what you can add or change to your routine or even how you utilize your time. If this is a habit you want to start incorporating and thinking about more, I want you to pick one daily experience that you can upgrade next. If you have discretionary income and you can support this change now, by all means do it. If not, then wait until you have more money in your budget. It could be your coffee routine, like me. It could be related to skincare, the sheets you sleep in, candles or scents, how you organize your workspace, your shower routine, or anything else that you might do on a daily basis. Another way you can go about this is make a list in your notes app. When something in your house or your day-to-day routine feels cheap or annoying or starts to frustrate you, add it to your list, and then when you're able to and you have the finances to support it, upgrade it when you can. And the last tip I have on this habit is if you can wait as long as you can to upgrade your bigger fixed expenses, so think your rent, like where you live, or your car, and focus on your financial foundations, so your emergency fund, paying off debt, saving and investing. Building those foundations are going to allow you to afford more everyday luxuries later. Number 2, Another habit that is going to instantly make your life feel richer is to declutter your space. A common myth is that luxury is only about what you buy. Advertisements have convinced us to associate luxury with things and experiences outside of our home. The truth is, luxury is also how your environment and how your space makes you feel. If you have a cluttered home, a cluttered room, it makes it harder to relax and it makes it harder to enjoy what you already have. Sometimes you can't even remember what you already have because it's like in a big pile and you can't find it. Now, I want to take this a step further. I think that if you can declutter your digital space as well, that also helps you feel a lot more calm and at peace. Quick sidebar and little mini tip. Whenever I'm in a waiting room, like when I'm waiting for the doctor, or if I get on a flight that doesn't have Wi-Fi and I just don't know what to do with myself, I clean up my phone. So I will delete and consolidate old notes, old grocery lists that I'm done using. I'll delete photos that I'm never going to use, and I'll even delete apps. I'll go through and find what apps am I not using, because it just starts building up a lot of clutter. All right, tangent over. Let's get back to talking about the habit of decluttering. Here's why it matters. When your environment is packed, full with so many things, your brain processes constant visual noise. When there's so many things to process, it can raise your stress levels. It can make you feel behind. It can actually trigger impulse spending because you're trying to buy your way into feeling better. When you declutter, it helps you rediscover the things you love and that you've already bought and maybe use them more. And it also helps you find things that you probably feel regret about or feel they're a waste of money because you don't use it and you don't need it like you thought. And what I'd encourage you to do is take that as information rather than just be mad that you made this purchase and it was a waste and it's past the date that you can return it. Use that as information so that later on you don't make purchases like that. It's going to help you become a more intentional spender. Here's my pro tip. Start with one tiny area or tiny zone in your house. It could be as tiny as one drawer, one shelf, or one corner of your room. Then set a timer. Set 20 minutes so you don't end up burning out, getting tired, and never wanting to do it again. See what you can get done in 20 minutes, and if you want to keep going, keep going. 2 habits down, we have 3 to go. But real quick, if this has helped you so far, please hit the like button so more people can find my content because I really want to help more people level up their finances. Number 3. Host an upgraded dinner at your home. A lot of people think that to have a luxury dining experience, you have to go to a fancy restaurant, a Michelin star restaurant, or something that just requires a reservation weeks in advance and ends up costing an arm and a leg. But the truth is, you can create a luxury experience at home, whether it's just for you by yourself, you and your partner, or your entire family. Maybe you invite some friends over. You can elevate dinner at home for surprisingly little money, especially relative to eating out and going to an expensive establishment. There are so many small upgrades that you can add to create the vibe of a fine dining restaurant. So here's a mindset shift for you. Instead of thinking of a restaurant as having that ability to give you a luxury experience, think about what makes it a luxury experience. Because if it's the people you love that you're dining with, eating food that you enjoy and that tastes really good, having good conversations and laughter, all of that together feels pretty rich and luxurious to me. And yes, you can do it at home. You can spend more money on a nicer bottle of wine, on fresher ingredients, on really good dessert, even a few things to make your table setup a lot nicer. If you think about restaurants, the lighting, the music, the ambiance, the smells, that can shift the whole experience and how you feel. Now the fun part, whatever meal you plan to prepare, serve it in courses if that's your style. I've actually seen people do this in their home. I've seen a lot of TikToks where people print out a menu. If you have a printer at home, you can make a fancy menu on Canva for free, print it out, and then it just elevates the whole experience. And these little details that cost very little to do can change the whole vibe of a meal. And last thing, if you're saying, okay, well, it's gonna take me so much time and energy to cook this meal, you can make it a potluck or you can cater it. Most times, catering either a part of it, like the dessert, or the entire meal can still be cheaper than a night out for an entire family or a whole group of friends. I'll leave it to you guys how you choose to do this if this is something you want to try. And if you do, definitely let me know in the comments how you elevated the dining experience. The real point here is to show that luxury is what we make of it. And I know that sounds cliche, but it's true. We can't just go about life thinking that luxury is what that person has over there because they're on a yacht or driving a Ferrari. We have to figure out what we truly enjoy and view that as luxury. And if those traditional luxury things are things you still want, what will happen is when you eventually get them, you're not going to forget that they are luxury. You're going to appreciate it and not take it for granted. Unexpected habit number 4 that's going to make your life feel more rich and luxurious. Do nothing. Getting time back is a luxury for most people. People are always busy, especially if you work and you work a lot. It's hard to find free time. The fact is, the ability to do nothing can feel luxurious. It's one way for you to feel calm and feel at peace. It's kind of like the mental and emotional version of decluttering that I mentioned earlier. Now, when I say do nothing, this doesn't mean you just have to sit in a dark room and not move. If you want to, I think that's great. You can meditate, you can light a candle, you can do some stretching. But the point is, you do something for you where you can be present in the moment. So something you can do right now without waiting for your next raise is to find moments within your day and within your week where you can do nothing, where you're not trying to be productive. You're not trying to deliver a project at work to someone or trying to get something done around the house. Do something for yourself, for your own mental health, emotional health, or do something for your leisure, if that's reading a book, doing a Sudoku puzzle, whatever it is that's gonna just bring you peace in the moment, and more importantly, keep you present in the moment. Not thinking about things in the past and not thinking about things you need to do later, but just being present and doing nothing. Last but not least on this list, create a high-end personal ritual. So it's a myth that you have to go to the spa or book a treatment to feel pampered. If you can create a personal ritual for yourself, your brain is going to start associating that ritual with the idea that it's okay to do some self-care, to do some healing, to slow down. Having a personal ritual is going to tell your brain that you are worth slowing down for. Any personal ritual that you can do either once a week or once every day is going to help anchor your week and also give you something to look forward to. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean that you're going to spend a ton of money. Think of something like a skincare routine, journaling, a long shower routine, or even a morning walk. And even if you have to buy a journal or some skincare products, some Epsom salts to take baths, those routines are going to feel so luxurious and cost nowhere near what it costs to go to a spa. And it doesn't have to be spa related either. I keep saying that because that's a personal preference, but it's in general having a personal ritual that you can do consistently, that has elements of self-care, and that most importantly, you look forward to. Because again, it's very easy for us to assume that being rich and feeling luxurious is so far away from us in time and in space. But the reality is we have things in our lives now that are luxuries that we once didn't have. All I'm saying is there are a lot of things you can do now, and most people have the discretionary income to support these little luxuries and routines and rituals. without realizing it. So that's the list. Now, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, there is one switch that I flipped in order to go from feeling scarce all the time to feeling abundant and feeling like I'm living luxuriously now. I've mentioned it several times throughout, but it's so simple. It's being intentional. So while that part's not a surprise, I want to tell you guys what actually happened. So there were many years where I was earning six figures while I felt like life sped past me. I kept spending because I had it and it was nice. I bought things that I used to dream about. Like for once, I started buying clothes that I wanted and liked that were not necessarily on the sales or clearance racks. But what happened was, as I paid more for these things, I started to feel it less. It started to become my new normal. At some point, something clicked and I decided I'm just gonna be more intentional. I can say no to going to that event or that thing if I don't really want to spend the money on that. If I'd rather put that money towards my savings or my investing or towards something else that I want. It wasn't that I started making six figures and I started becoming a better spender and I was intentional about everything. That was a skill that I had to build. And it's never about being stingy or cutting out joy. It's simply about being careful and smarter with every money decision you have to make because it has to align with what you actually want in your life. So I can go on and on about this topic, but let me end the video here. I hope these 5 ideas and habits show you that if you can focus on intentionality and flip that switch in your mindset about what luxury even means, you'll realize that you probably already live in luxury now. Before I say bye, let me know your best everyday luxury hack in the comments so that the rest of us can try it out. Until next time, peace out.